Hi, welcome to 3D Animation Exam. I am Autodesk Maya online teacher. Today we shall see the ways to tear a surface using end cloth. There are two different ways that we are going to see. Okay, let's start. Go to create, polygon primitives, disk, scale up the disk, that is radius to grid size. Now switch off the grid, go to create, type. Here you type welcome to Yajna, or whatever font you want to type, you can type. Go to text, decrease the font size to 2, and in geometry decrease the divisions to 1. Rename this as font, rename this as ground. Now go to top view, place the font in the middle of the disk, right. Now we are going to get the polyplane for applying cloth, polygon primitives, plane. Increase the width, increase the height to, subdivisions should be 55, that is width should be 55 and subd height should be 30. Yes. Now keep it little above the, just above the font. 1.4 in translation Y is okay. Rename this as surface. Now we are going to apply this end cloth. Before that we have to apply detach for edges. That is where we have to going to tear it, that we have to define. So go to edge mode and define the tearing portion by selecting the edges. These edges I have selected. Now deselect the corners. Only the middle portion of the cloth surface should be toured. Now go to edit mesh, detach. So go to object mode, open the UV editor. You can see the detached portion in the polyplane. Now go to FX mode. Only after applying the detach you have to apply the end cloth. Create end cloth, and now we have to define the obstacles for ground and font. Select the font, end cloth, passive collider. This is the obstacle tool. Yes, we have applied the obstacle for the font. Now the next is ground. Create passive collider. Now you just rewind, play and see. Yeah. Okay, this is perfect. Good. Suppose if I want to this tearing to happen only after some time, that is at 70 or 75 something, in that frames I want the tearing to happen. But in this case, if you see, rewind and see, the tearing is happening from the 20th frame itself. So we cannot time the tearing. So for that we have another tool called unconstrained tearable surface. So now we are going to do that. Let's delete all these things. From the scratch we will do. Select the surface, go to attribute editor, select the split edge. This node came out of when we applied detach tool. So now we don't need that. We are going to use unconstrained tearable surface. So we can delete this detach tool, poly split edge, select the poly split edge node, delete. Now if you go to UV editor, you won't see any tearing, that cut is not there. Now right away go to end cloth, create end cloth, again create obstacle, define the obstacle, end cloth, create passive collider, select the font, create passive collider. Now you play it and see there is no tearing happening. Rewind back, select the surface, go to end constraint tearable surface. Before that we have to select the edges. Go to edge mode and select the right edges. This is okay, I feel. Deselect the corners. Go to end constraint, apply tearable surface. Now you are seeing it, those edges with points, means it is showing that that portion is applied tearable surface tool. So you can see this dynamic constraint one is being created when we apply this tearable surface. So select this, go to attribute. You are seeing something called glue strength. Glue means stickiness. So when you increase the glue strength, if I play it, see it won't tear. Why? Because the glue strength is 0.1. So make it 0 and see what happens. Rewind it and play it. See, the beginning itself it is tearing. So if you want to tear the surface, that is if you want to time it, you have to use this glue strength. Now I feel I want the tearing to happen only after 40th frame. So what I will do is rewind, play it, go to 40th frame. Now apply 0.2 set key, that is keyframe it. Now come to 50th frame. Now you put it 0, again key it, rewind it. Now play and see, only after 50th frame it is tearing. You can increase the frame range to 150 so that it will show it. Yeah. So go to Windows Animation Editor's Graph Editor, select the graph and make it linear tangent. Now you rewind and play it and see it happens little more fast. Yes, if you want you can make it little earlier. Select the graph, go to 25, shift the graph to the 25. Now you rewind and play it. After 25 the tearing is happening. Yes, okay. So this is the effect. That is, if you want the tearing animation, you have to use end constraint tearable surface. If you don't want the animation, in the beginning itself it can tear, then you can use edit mesh detach. Now we have to do cache. You have to select the surface end cloth and do end cache in object. It takes time. So guys, that's it for today. You can visit my website 3danimation.com to know more about my online classes and YouTube links of my works. Please subscribe my channel to see more videos on Maya software. Thanks for being with me. Cheers.